President Putin's February 21 address to the Russian Federal Assembly has come under attack in the West. The Russian president has been described as bitter, angry, vengeful, and the content of his presentation has been widely derided as simply a rearticulation of Russian propaganda. As my mentor and good friend Ray McGovern, a CIA analyst with significant experience in the former Soviet Union, has often told me, the key aspect of learning about what the Soviets and Russians are saying is to actually listen to them, to read their words, to hear their speeches. And that's what I ask the public to do when it comes to President Putin's address. Listen to the speech. Listen to what he says. You might learn a couple things. Like one, a lot of people are thinking that the Russian president was going to announce some bold new strategic offensive against Ukraine. Instead, he articulated more limited objectives, such as bringing about economic and social prosperity to the new territories of Novorossiya, to push back Ukrainian threats to this territory beyond the range of the weapons that were being provided to Ukraine by the West. Sounds pretty reasonable to me. He also indicated that this struggle might not be just military in nature, but rather focus on the economic aggression carried out by the West against Russia. And for all those in the West, such as Kenneth Rogoff, the Harvard professor who in the Davos World Economic Forum last month said that sanctions were about regime change, Putin had some bad news. They aren't working. Russia's actually succeeding on the economic front. They have their defense industry up and running, but they're not like in Soviet times trading cannons for butter. Instead, they're able to have a viable domestic economy. I think people should listen to what the Russian president says. Rather than bitter, angry, vengeful man, he comes across as rather articulate, thoughtful, and reasonable. And that's a good hope for the world, because we need reasonable people if we're going to find an equitable, peaceful solution to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. This has been my 2-minute topic, and remember, knowledge is power.